The U.S. Department of Education recently released data that showed there were more than 1.2 million homeless students enrolled in public schools last year, the highest ever. As the nation's educators continue to struggle with the problem, the NewsHour's April Brown tells the story of one Washington, D.C. teenager who defied the odds and may well inspire other kids in similar situations. This story is another in our American Graduate series, funded by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
In many ways, Rashema Melson is a typical Georgetown University freshman. She graduated top of her high school class last year and now makes it a point to come early to class every day so she can sit in the front row.
What is it then if we take apart that protein?
But Rashema's path toward success has not been an easy one. Her father was killed when she was 7 months old, and she spent much of the last 3 years in a Washington, D.C. homeless shelter with her mother and 2 brothers, facts that she kept mostly secret while in high school.
You know, it was nobody's business, and if it was, I didn't want to be pitied. I didn't want to be looked down upon as if I couldn't do it, you know, because I'm a strong person.
She was always smiling, very bubbly, very friendly, always the good morning or the hello.
Good job.
One person
Be honest in the comments. If you were homeless, do you think you could accomplish a goal like this?
she eventually told was Anacostia High School teacher Chisa Perry, who was Rashema's track and field coach. But for a long time, Perry didn't know, and she says regardless of what was happening at home, Rashema always remained upbeat and focused at school.
The best way to describe Rashema would be determined. Anything she sets her mind to do, she will do it.
Rashema Melson.
That grit and determination was on display last June as the 18-year-old gave her valedictorian speech at Anacostia High, a school that sits in one of the poorest sections of Washington, D.C.
Life is not fair, but despite that harsh reality, you must keep striving for success.
Rashema began taking classes at Georgetown this summer after receiving a full scholarship to the nation's oldest Catholic university. She moved out of the homeless shelter and into student housing. The homeless shelter where Rashema lived during the last few years of high school is only a few miles away from Georgetown, but the atmosphere could hardly be more different. That's why she spent 5 weeks of her vacation here in a program designed to help ease the transition.
Schools like Georgetown, elite schools, sometimes we need to remind ourselves that terrific students can be found anywhere, and to give ourselves the mechanism, the means to find them, bring them in, and make sure that they're okay. And that's what this program does.
Dennis Williams, Associate Dean of Students at Georgetown, runs the Summer Bridge program that Rashema took part in. Known as Community Scholars, the program offers students tools to help them make it all the way to graduation. These types of programs have become relatively common in universities across the country, particularly for students like Rashema, first-generation college-goers. Rashema has, thus far, been adjusting well academically, but Williams warns it can take a bit longer to adjust to some things outside the classroom.
What's unusual in Rashema's case is that she is local, and so that she is from a part of the city that most Georgetown students know very little about, and that the part of the city where her high school is, most of the people in that neighborhood know very little about Georgetown, so it really is sort of two separate worlds within the same city.
Rashema is taking the transition in stride, but is skeptical of one label that many have already given her, role model.
When people say I'm a role model, I don't mind. I just don't want anyone to put pressure on me like you have to be this way because people are watching you. People are always going to watch me, but I'm always going to be myself, because if I'm not myself, then who am I?
Despite the fact her story has spread across the country, Rashema says she hasn't been paying much attention to the media coverage.
What's funny is I don't even know what these articles are.
For now, Rashema is focused on becoming a forensic pathologist and moving her family out of the shelter for good.
I still see that picture in my head of me having my own house and, having my degrees on the wall, having a job to go to from 9 to 5, having a consistent paycheck, paying my own bills, and just being the woman that I always wanted to be.
Rashema says she has also started a scholarship foundation that she hopes will one day help students like her.
This video raises questions, and I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments when answering them. And just so you know, I have 4 questions. Number 1, have you ever been homeless before? Number 2, do you know someone homeless? Number 3, who would you like for me to do a video on next? And number 4, what are your thoughts about this video? Please share them in the comments. Please be honest when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.